Hey, what's up, guys? SBC here. So, today I wanted to do something very special. So, guys, I'm sure as you all know, over the course of the last 2 years, we have had two brand new Star Wars movies come out. And that that makes the question, which one was better? The Force Awakens or Rogue One? Well, guys, I have jotted down some notes, and I have separated it into 6 different categories. And I'm going to give you my thoughts on each of the movies regarding everything, like every little detail I could possibly think of when I was making this. So, guys, it is time for the first ever versus between The Force Awakens and Rogue One. So, I guess without further ado, let's get into the battle, I guess we could say. So, guys, the first category is the story. So, I guess we're just going to have to start off with The Force Awakens, since it was the first one that came out. So, when we start the movie off, in regards to Luke, has just completely vanished. Nobody knows where he's went to. Of course, we don't find out till later on in the movie why he finally vanished. But basically, The Force Awakens stands for the brand new Jedi that needs to be found in this movie, because at this point in time, Luke went into hiding because of his nephew, Kylo Ren, after killing all of the Jedi that were at the temple where he was training them all. So I guess in a weird sense, it was almost like when Anakin went to the Jedi Temple and killed all the Jedi in Revenge of the Sith. And of course, Ben Solo / Kylo Ren ended up joining the dark side, ended up joining the First Order, and ended up joining Supreme Leader Snoke, becoming his new apprentice. So I guess in a sense we've got a Vader / Palpatine thing going on again. But it's basically just in search of the new Jedi, trying to find out who is wielding the Force so much where they can maybe finally bring the full balance, as the prophecy originally predicted. So now we get to the story of Rogue One, which basically delivers us all the way back to the original movie. Oh, where'd it go? Here it is. Because basically, Rogue One is all about the original Star Wars movie, A New Hope. So it's basically about how the rebellion got the plans for the Death Star, and also who created the Death Star, who was in charge of production of the Death Star. And that, of course, ended up being Mr. Galen Erso, the father to the hero, whatever you want to call her, of this new movie, Jin. So basically, it was just all about the Ersos, which I did like that with this, they took the chance with this and got completely away from the Skywalkers, which I didn't mind. It was good. Plus, it's always been nice to know about everything with the Death Star. But guys, I don't know. This one most of these I was really torn on when it came to this, so. But with this one, I have to give it to The Force Awakens, because it really intrigued me, like, where Luke was, who was this new Jedi, because, of course, the trailers, everybody thought it was Finn, and it turns out to be Rey in the end, and I loved it. And everybody found out who Kylo Ren was, ended up being Han and Leia's kid. So, for this one, I gotta give it to The Force Awakens. So, now we get into the characters, and I'll just keep doing this, like whoever wins the round, I'll just start with them and go back and forth, so on and so forth. So now with this, once again we start with The Force Awakens. So now with this, there's a completely brand new cast. We've got Ray, we got Finn slash FN 2187. We've got Poe Dameron, we've got Ben Solo slash Kylo Ren, we've got Snoke, Hux, Phasma. The list goes on and on. And then, of course, you've got the original cast. You've got Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Chewbacca, 3PO, and you got R2, Leia. You've got General Akbar and Nine Nub. Loved that. Loved their little cameos they had in there. The only thing I kind of wish they did with this is bring Lando in. But I'm hoping for this new one, The Last Jedi, I hope they bring Lando in, because I really want to know what he's been up to these last 30 years since the Battle of Endor. That's just really been a big thing for me. I want to know what he's been doing. So now, guys, we get to Rogue One, where basically it's completely brand new characters in the entire movie. So you got Jin, you got Cassian Andor, K2SO, director Orson Krennic, Galen Erso. You also have Chirrut Imwe, one of my personal favorite characters in the movie. He was awesome. And of course you had Baze. I can't ever remember what his name is, but the Imperial pilot who was with them guys throughout the movie. I cannot remember what his name was. And then of course you got original characters too, like the CGI Tarkin, the CGI Leia at the way in, and Darth Vader. Man, he made, every time he was in that movie, like he just made it that much better. His presence was awesome. I loved it. This one was really tough because, I mean, both of these movies have, original cast members and completely brand new characters, but I'd say with this one I gotta give it to Rogue One, because they just had, no offense to like any of the characters from The Force Awakens, but to me Rogue One had some more interesting characters. Almost every character was new. You had cameo characters too. So this one I had to give it to Rogue One. Now, guys, this was another one that was really tough, but this one is 2-in-1. It's planets / vehicles. So, in Rogue One, we had a couple of original planets from the older Star Wars. We had Yavin 4, which had the Rebel base in it. Loved it. It looked exactly the same as it did in Episode 4. You even had Mustafar. I was really surprised they were going to put that in the movie with Vader's castle. I loved that concept. That was so cool. And of course, guys, with the vehicles, you got the classic X-Wings and the TIE Fighters. Love that. Also, Krennic's new, I don't even know what it was. His starship, I guess. Kind of like the Emperor's. And of course, you had the U-Wings as well. I like those things. Especially, too, when I play Battlefront. Hands down. Awesome vehicles. And then, of course, you had brand new planets like Wobani. Quick little thing. I didn't know if anybody caught it. Like, as soon as I saw it, if you unscramble the words, it's actually an Easter egg for Obi-Wan. Just so you guys know. So next time you see the movie. And then, of course, you had Edu, where Galen Erso was, where he was also working on the plans for the Death Star up there. And, of course, you had Scarif, where the Death Star plans also were, where everybody goes to try and get them, and tragically everybody ends up dying, which is really sad. I'm also sorry if you didn't watch the movie and I just spoiled it for you. Sorry. And then, of course, you had Jeddah, the planet where all of the Kyber crystals were in the original, I don't know if it was the original Jedi temple or what it was, but it's basically, they went there and they took apart all the lightsabers that were there and took all of the Kyber crystals so they could go and power the Death Star. Another cool concept I loved about the movie. Now, The Force Awakens. They basically just came out with new styles for the TIE Fighters and the X-Wings. I mean, they look the same, but they just still look pretty cool, too. And then, of course, you had your planets, all the brand new ones. You had Dakar, Ahch-To, where Luke ended up being at the end of the movie. You had Jakku, basically our Tatooine, in a sense. You had Takodana. You had the Star Killer base. That was pretty cool. Well, I'm not going to say it wasn't not cool, but it basically was just an over-eccentric Death Star. I really hope they stay away from that when it comes to these next movies, because I can't see another big, base like that. That's all I got, guys. So this one was another really tough one for me, but I'm going to have to give it to the classics. I have to give it to Rogue One again. I mean, I love the classic TIE Fighters, the classic X-Wings. I also like how they included Yavin 4 and Mustafar. Not Mustafar, Mustafar. That's what it was called. And then, of course, all the brand new planets were in it, so I have to give this one to Rogue One once again. Now, this one, to me, guys, this is the easiest one I'll have to do. Actually, with some things, it's also a two-parter, but this is music / effects. So, guys, of course, you had classic costumes from the first movie, towards the end with the rebellion, with their big old helmets and the blue suits and the black boots and everything. And, of course, you had all of the CGI characters. So, of course, you had Grand Moff Tarkin, spot on, nothing wrong with it at all. The surprise at the end with a digitally remastered Carrie Fisher, also amazing. Then you also had Red and Gold Leader. That was, wow. I honestly didn't really catch it the first time I watched it until I kind of saw a post about it, and I was like, oh, really? And then, of course, I ended up going to see the movie once again with my buddy Travis, and I caught it again. I was like, oh, that's right, that's right. Now, with the music, to me, the music in Rogue One wasn't very Star Wars-y. At the end, you had the classic Star Wars theme. And, of course, at the beginning, you had, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. And you had the Imperial March when Vader first popped up, so. But now, guys, when it comes to The Force Awakens, I loved all of the music. It was classic Star Wars, classic effects. There was absolutely nothing wrong with any of the music or effects in the movie. John Williams, of course, came back and did it. He's also scoring this next Star Wars movie, so I'm excited to hear the music in this one. Because that's the biggest thing for me, I think, when it comes to a Star Wars movie, is the music. It just makes it just that much better. I love Rey's theme, Kylo Ren's theme. Of course, I don't have a problem with the classic Star Wars music, but if you remember in the original one, when Luke goes out and looks at the two suns, and they're playing that slow song, that's my favorite Star Wars song. So, guys, the effects I have to give to Rogue One, because it was just amazing, spot on, but the music, it definitely has to go to The Force Awakens. It has to. This one also, this next category, it's the last category as well. Maybe if I can come up with another one, I might do another video. I think regardless, I want to do another video, kind of like this, but. So, it's the action in the movies. So, of course, all the action you had in The Force Awakens. You had the chase on Jakku with the Millennium Falcon. Nerd out moment for me, man. Oh my god. I got so excited when I saw the Falcon. And then you have the Takodana raid, where the First Order comes and attacks Maz's castle. And of course, you also have the attack on the Starkiller base. And of course, we cannot forget about the lightsaber duel between Rey and Kylo Ren. I'm not gonna lie though, it wasn't the most exciting lightsaber duel I've ever seen. Nothing's ever going to top Anakin versus Obi-Wan in Revenge of the Sith. Nothing. But I might eat my words. You never know. These next couple movies, they might show me a thing or two. And then of course, you've got Rogue One. All the action. It was just constant, non-stop action in the movie. You had the attack on Jeddah and the little quarry, or whatever you want to call it, I guess. The town. That was a good scene. The Edu attack with the X-Wings and the TIE fighters. Accidentally killing Galen Erso. And then, of course, guys, you had the Scarif space battle. That was awesome. I'm trying to think what else I'm missing here. No, of course, I guess there was the Scarif Beach battle. It was all good. There was not a single bad action scene. So clearly I have to give this to Rogue One. Because, like I said, it's just non-stop action. And especially with this movie, what The Force Awakens did not give us was a space battle. And that for me is also another big thing for Star Wars. It's constant space battles. Obviously, Star Wars. So, guys, I guess, just to kind of start clearing up the video, to me, they were both equally very, very good movies, but I have to give it to Rogue One with the action, as we just said. The story of The Force Awakens, clearly, along with the music. I mean, they were both, I could go see them a million times over, and they're still awesome. But I just have to say Rogue One was a little bit better, because it had the space battles. That was the big thing for me. And it just had best effects. But also, once again, Force Awakens, better story, better music. I'm spacing out, wow. Okay, yeah, never mind, I gave that to them, but yeah, Rogue One was just a little bit better to me. But once again, both good movies. Give them both 5 out of 5 stars. So guys, I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Which movie was better? What did you like better? Maybe even give me a link to one of your videos if you got one. So guys, I guess with that being said, like usual, like, comment, subscribe. See ya.